Alright, I've never done this dungeon before. We're just doing a +2. Shouldn't be too bad. Yeah. The new raids come out? Yeah, so, yesterday, Mythic Plus started, as well as, new raids. What do I click? Do I click on this? Or, what the fuck? What do I do? Oh, I have to click on this and then... I just assumed that... Oh, okay. Alright. There we go. I had no idea. I've never done this dungeon before. Anyways, so Mythic Plus came out
Your arrival is gratuitous.
yesterday as well as a new raid. But how they're doing Mythic Plus now is half of the dungeons... There's always 8 dungeons, right, in the rotation. Half of the dungeons are 4 of the new ones, right? Which I've been playing all 8 of the new ones. Oh. Wait,
This is your best chance to eliminate the Grand Magistrates. Good luck.
So this is an older dungeon that I've never done before. Yeah, 4 of them are older, 4 of them are newer. Has been alerted to your presence. Who the fuck is spamming me? Hold on. No, but yeah, sorry. I was doing I think you said something in the chat for a second last night, I think maybe. I feel like I vaguely remember doing it. I think I was doing the new raids when you were in here. I joined my guild for that, but there's 8 bosses in the new raid. We're just doing the normal mode. Which I'd say normal mode is like difficulty wise, it's not really directly comparable to anything in Final Fantasy, but I would say that it's probably similar in difficulty to what the fuck? It's probably similar in difficulty to maybe Extreme Trials. Sometimes, certain bosses may be a little harder, some may be a little easier. As I said, I don't think it's directly comparable, because the game's just designed very differently. Who the fuck is sending me like 30 messages? Oh, it's Laz. Okay. I'll look at that in a minute. But I didn't realize. Okay, so I didn't know this going in, right? So like I'm not super upset at like specific people or anything, but I didn't know this going in. That a lot of people who signed up for my guild raid were like completely new to raiding. Not just like completely new to raiding in WoW, but they were completely new to like doing raid-like content in video games, period. Like they had no fucking idea what they were doing. They didn't know how to play their class. They didn't know how to listen to like raid lead instructions. Like they were awful. But like if I knew that going in, I would have different expectations, right? My expectation was that we were going to clear the majority of the raid in one go. Maybe we'd get stuck on the last boss or something. But my expectation was that we would get the majority of the raid down in the first sitting. On normal, obviously. I'm not expecting anything crazy on heroic or whatever. I don't know where.
No trespassers allowed.
But we only got 2 bosses down. So how that raid in particular, you know, it's not always the same, but how that raid in particular is laid out, okay, is the first boss that you fight is always that same first boss. Like, you know, it's the only one you can go to first. But after the first boss, there's basically 2 different like ways you can go, and they one of them leads to a boss that's by itself. In the other direction, there's like 2 bosses down that hallway, basically, right? So you can choose to go to either direction. You have to kill every boss in the raid, but like you can choose what order to do those 3 bosses, basically. What the fuck is killing me? I don't even know. I think I need to. Okay, sure. But yeah, we chose to go to the. We killed the first boss on the second pull, which honestly it should have been on the first pull, but whatever. Okay, we killed the boss on the first boss on the second pull, and then the second boss we chose to do is probably one of the harder bosses that we could have possibly chosen to do.
Mic off.
And it took us 3 hours to kill it. And you know what's even more frustrating about that? Is that on the first pull of the boss. Now, this is a boss that I do not expect to kill in 1 pull. Okay? It is one of the harder ones, right? But, on the first pull, we got... It's 4 bosses at the same time. You gotta like cleave them down all at the same time. They gotta all die. But you can stack them up on top of each other pretty much the whole fight. So, like, you know, as long as everyone's, like, you know, cleaving all of them, you're good. So, we got, like, them to, like, an average of, like, 11%. Which is, like, really, like, in WoW numbers, that's not a whole lot. Like, that's, like, it's, like, maybe another 30 seconds of, like, attacking them. If that. Like, that's, like, not a whole lot of health. So... it's kinda very unfortunate. And then we just got like worse every pull. We got like, you know, like immediately the next pull we wiped at like 80%. You know stuff like that. It's like we literally fucking like we got so far. On the first pull. We did eventually kill it, but man, we spent so much time on that boss that like several people had to leave after we killed it, but we still had enough people to keep going. So instead of going to the boss that's immediately after it, like in this, like, you know, that is like the next one, if you keep going that direction, we went backwards back to the main room. And then went to the boss that we should have done first, in my opinion. And then we wiped to that boss like twice. And then everyone quit. Like, you know, like people had to go. Like we just ended the raid. And I was like, what the fuck? I don't know, man. Ugh. I should be paying more attention. I don't know what's going on. Silence. Bro. What the fuck? So anyways, a new mechanic they introduced to the raid loot though is something called very rare drops. Only specific bosses have these, and they're higher item level, like, because basically the general item level of items is based on the difficulty that you're doing, right? That makes sense. That's pretty much the same thing as Final Fantasy, but these specific items are higher item level than the general, like, normal, like, standard gear, and they are like basically abyss for a lot of classes. And the two bosses that we killed both have chances of dropping these very rare items, and both of them dropped them. Both of which are abyss items for me. I mean, obviously, like the mythic version, like if we did it on mythic, like it would be higher item levels, so technically that's my abyss. But like within the normal mode item level range, right? They were abyss for me, and I didn't win either of them. But you know what's hilarious though? Is the second item. It was a trinket, and this trinket is really fucking good. And I rolled a 99, and in this game you can roll up to 100. So I lost to a 100. Because I know it maxes out at obviously 99 in Final Fantasy, but it goes to 100 in this game. Yeah. Happened to, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's happened to me in FF14 before too. It's just really sad. Because, like, trinkets are fucking cool. I mean, some of them are very basic, like, stat stuff, but some trinkets have, like, things that change how your class plays, or, like, adds, like, an extra, like, ability or something. Like, they do really, really cool stuff. Oh, crap. That's not who I meant to give that to. Whatever. Why did Mios die? Did he stand in the fire? I bet he stood in the fire. Typical warlock. Some bosses in this game actually do have pretty complex mechanics. Okay, my headset randomly died. Some bosses in this game can have pretty complex mechanics, but like as you could see with that boss, you just didn't want to stand in the fire, you know? Oh, what the fuck? Wait. Oh. I was not paying attention. I had to click the... Wait, what the fuck? What do I gotta do? Dude, you know, I said at the beginning of the thing that I don't know the...
The Burning Legion is entirely focused on the task at hand.
I don't know the dungeon, and no one explained anything to me. They're just doing it, and I'm just like, I don't know.
So many
Am I supposed to not...
needing to be purged. Who better than
I'll follow this guy. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. This one's weird.
Sargeras himself shall recognize my genius. Will his power expand my mind, or will my mind expand his power?
I don't know what's... I have no idea what we're doing. You know what? Actually, I kind of remember doing this like solo for a quest or something. You have to like find like a spy by talking to people or something. But I don't know, man. I think they figured it out. The fact that you have to do this in a... Why did they pick this dungeon for Mythic Plus? I don't understand. This is stupid. They shouldn't have put this dungeon in Mythic Plus. There's so much like cinematic stuff. That's stupid. IMO. But yeah, Warlock, I mean... there's a lot of casters in this game. I don't know. I would say pretty much any caster that doesn't have a... Like, even Shadow Priests, technically, you know, are probably like Black Mages. But, like, you know... If I need to move out of something or else I'm gonna die, I do it, you know? But, yeah. Warlock, I've only played Demonology, but Demonology actually has like a lot of instant casts. It's almost like a current summoner in some ways in Endwalker, but not quite as free. They're not pretty much a physical range, but which, by the way, that's not really a thing in this game. I haven't played Hunter, but I'm pretty sure it's not like Bard or anything. Like I think every ranged has like casts. Though, as I said, I've never played Hunter, so I could be completely wrong. That's one of the few classes I haven't played yet. It also has a melee spec. Like, it has a range spec, but it has a melee spec too. So, I don't know.
If you blink, you bleed. If you blink, you bleed. The wind slices to the bone. I will speed you towards your demise.
Okay.
Forgive me.
Oh my god, it gave me a keystone, finally. Infernal Writ. I don't know if that's good.